The bag is like ripping. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's weekly vlog. I want to pull out my spring and summer clothes. Hopefully get rid of some items. This is becoming quite not working out. I like to put away my winter, fall clothes once it starts to get warm and pull out my spring, summer. It is so gloomy today and this week, but with my trip to Miami coming up, I just want to kind of get a feel for the items and clothes that I have for that trip. Oh my god, like this little number, this is gonna be perfect. I won't be putting away winter stuff just yet because of how cold and rainy it is still here, but yeah, I just wanted to get a feel for the items and the outfits that I have. Out my clothes that will be helpful for Miami, so I'm going to put away the rest, and then probably in May when I'm feeling much more inspired to pull out all of the bright colors and put away the sweaters, I'll do a full proper switch over. It's just not the mood right now with how gloomy it is. This is definitely a colorful start. I am so inspired already just looking at all these vibrant pastels and florals and palm trees. Perfect. So happy Tuesday. I've had a full day already. I am so tired, but it's probably the only sunsetty beautiful day it's been for a while, but also this week. I think Sunday might have a chance of actual sunshine, which will be perfect for cherry blossoms. So I had time and I didn't have any Tuesday plans, so I'm like, just go out, go shoot. So I headed to North Seattle. I drove by this area the other day. There has been a Skyline Highway 5 location that I've been trying to find, not very difficult, not very intensely, but I drove by it a week or so ago and I'm like, oh my god. So I figured why not give it a go tonight. So it is, yes, like I said, the sun setting. We're probably in golden hour. It's 7, sunset's at 7:30, and I'm going to bring up the tripod and take some lovely photos, listen to my book, finish my Disposable City book. I have less than an hour left of it. It's about the city of Miami dealing with climate change. It's been frustrating because it's like a lot of young, educated people being like, these are problems that need to be fixed, versus like a bunch of arrogant, individualistic, greedy, old people who only care about themselves. But who was surprised? Who's surprised? But yeah, it's actually quite gorgeous today. It really felt like summer. I was debating on going to the quad because if I go on a Sunday, it's going to be omega swamped. I did see that there are news outlets reporting that Sunday will be like peak bloom, or this weekend rather, the end of the week will be peak bloom for the cherry blossoms. And I checked the UW cam and there's still a bunch of tight bulbs. Like I feel like they're only about half bloomed. Still gorgeous. I've been seeing them all around town pretty sparsely, but they're definitely not at their full peak bloom. And I also just don't think that that's really a sunset spot. You're surrounded by a bunch of gorgeous university buildings, but you aren't really going to get any sort of benefit, I think, from sunset hour, golden hour. I could be wrong, but like whenever I feel like I see photos of the quad, it's just like a bright middle of the day sunshine type deal. So with that, I need to walk out to this viewpoint and yeah, get some nice photos. The mountains look so beautiful. I am So ready to photograph summer sunsets, and yeah, it's just gorgeous. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I think I picked not the best place for sunset. I think this really isn't like a sunset spot, especially not this time of year. Let's put on some light, I guess. The sun is just way too far north setting. I was hoping that like we would get like a cut of like golden on like the buildings. I'm so glad I went. It's something that I'd been wanting to check out for a while, and yeah, it's just inspired me to keep going. I was kind of kicking myself, like looking at the actual sunset dipping behind the Olympics to the west. I think I'm just gonna keep an eye on the weather this week. I actually think I have some free time, free evenings. I definitely have some plans, like some yoga, dinners, but I think I might have some free time, free evenings for sunsets. I will keep this in mind. I have some ideas. I'm glad I came out. And there are a couple shots that I think I got that look pretty cool. This is probably a like after sunset long exposure with how the cars are on the highway, and maybe even a sunrise depending on the time of year. But again, I'm still glad I came out. I want to look at more reference photos because I'm still not 100% that I got the right shot. But when I was trying to look at reference photos earlier, I was just going through a sea of Seattle photos. With that, I'm going to head home and just get a bunch of things done. I have to figure out what tomorrow is. I have a lot of ideas for tomorrow. Finished my workout class and I'm heading towards the bus, and I've already seen lightning and heard one big roll of thunder, and we don't get thunder here. I hope it'll go again.
Be right. Is that all? Yeah, you're cute too. I feel that blush again. My toes tingle. That's a problem. He leans for.
I'm listening to One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. I've read 2 other Rebecca Searle novels and really enjoyed them. They're really quick and bright and digestible, and I can just kind of rip through them. They're quite short. I read The Expiration Dates, was probably my favorite so far, and that was about, they're all like light romance books with a kind of like magical twist to them. So in Expiration Dates, she goes on dates with people and then receives a magical letter saying how long the dates are going to, how long those relationships will last for. 5 years later, she is about a type A woman who wakes up 5 years in the future with a very different life than she was planning. And One Italian Summer is about a woman whose mom just died, and then she goes to Italy and finds a younger version of her mom there. That's why I say light romance. Like there's elements of like relationships and dating and discovering yourself, all that good stuff. But One Italian Summer, I've heard people really dislike the main character, and there are definitely some things that I find a little odd about her. She says that like her and her mom are her one true love, and I'm definitely not one to say like, you know, oh, my mom is my best friend, or, you know, your husband is your best friend. I really think that like there are so many different types of love and relationships that I wouldn't want to color something like a marriage, like family, in such a way. I feel like they are just their own separate type of relationships, and that we need all of them. I think that's kind of the thing that kind of boggles me, is that like, why would you want one person to kind of captivate all of these different elements? I think we need girlfriends, we need best girlfriends, I think we need really deep connections, friendships with men as well. I think we need romantic partners, and our own ties with our family is different, and we need to have casual friends and community. I think we just need all of it. So I think that's why it always kind of like irks me. Not irks, I don't know. It's just something I just disagree with. I was wondering, the little bit of the beginning was a little difficult for me as somebody who has also lost their mother, and kind of talking about missing your mom a lot, and that like early grief stages of losing such a pivotal person in your life, a rock. I was 23 when my mom died, so I also was quite young. But the character in this book has been married to her, or with her partner, for 8 years. They met at 22, which yes, is kind of young to stop dating, I think, but also not the youngest, you know. There are people out there that marry their high school sweethearts. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's young. But then she says, we've been together for 8 years. We don't have children because we're children ourselves. And that kind of irked me a little bit. But listening to the book a little bit more, she is such a stunted, sheltered person. Somebody's like, what, have you never been to Europe? And she's like, yes, I have. I've been to London, which I haven't been to London, but I feel like London is super similar. Even the book hints at this too, where it's like London barely counts as Europe, especially from like an American perspective. And she talks about like visiting the same restaurants and just having a lot of this like rigidity. So I'm hoping that this book is about like growth and freedom, which I think it will be. So I'm definitely not DNFing the book. I already have, I have like 3 hours left of it. Like I said, these books are so quick. But yeah, I've been on a really good book kick. I finished Miami, the Disposable City. I really enjoyed it, and I was surprised at how heartwarming the book kind of ends in such a very optimistic turn. I feel like sometimes with these climate books, I can feel quite defeatist. The lack of seriousness people are taking with this, and when I say people, like large institutions, the rich, you know, that type of stuff. But the book kind of ends like 100 years in the future, and a hypothetical scenario where the author is taking a boat tour through the suburbs of Miami and talking about a new future for Miami, where people were able to come together, live more densely, reach the high ground, use modern day technology to combat the rising sea levels with jetty and city planning. And yeah, I was just very surprised at how optimistic that was, and then how optimistic I felt afterwards. So it's, and the book, the author I believe has written other pieces about saving Miami. I guess there's also this idea of leaving Miami once it is sunk and not having no longevity, hence the term disposable city. I don't know, just put like put a little bit of brightness into a usually dour situation. I also finished 2 nonfiction books. I read Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, which I found very, very easy to consume. A lot of the things I feel like I have heard before, because I have been a watcher of Vlogbrothers for several years. I don't watch every one of their videos now, but I was familiar with like the story of Henry, who he met in Sierra Leone, and some other talking points that he's mentioned in other vlogs, which will be very good. I'm excited for a couple days before book club. This is the book that I chose for my book club that I meet in person with my little book club with my friends. I'm excited to share some of these vlogs with them if they want to do some like extra curriculum. I'm curious to see how book club will go with this. Book club's not till May, so we're still far out because everybody's traveling. But I'm curious what the discussion will be like. The book tackles John Green's curiosity and obsession with tuberculosis and how it's kind of been this pervasive factor through history, which I honestly wish was more of the book. I wish there was, with a title like Everything is Tuberculosis, and listening to John Green talk about how tuberculosis has influenced different states being formed, different political acts, and there's a little bit of that. I would say the book covers that. His interactions with a young boy in Sierra Leone called Henry, struggling with TB in a part of the world that doesn't have access to tuberculosis treatment because of racism and money and greed and resources. And then another part of the book talks about how tuberculosis is a curable and fightable disease. We just haven't because of human-made systems. But yeah, I found the book very, very enjoyable. I would have liked a little bit more history, but that's just kind of what I am interested in. And yeah, I'll be very curious for book club on this. And then I also read Amanda Montell, her new book, but I think it's a couple years old, The Age of Magical Thinking. I've read her 2 other books about cults and words, like language, femininity, and language, and I find her books to be super digestible, super pop science, pop psychology, some thinkers. So yeah, just very, very quick. So I've been doing really good with books. I am very ahead of my book goal, and I am wanting to read more, hence another quick read with One Italian Summer. I watched a TikTok of a gal put on blush, and it looked so good, and I am always afraid of blush. I also didn't put on that much foundation, so we'll just do a little bit of blush. Why not? It's spring. So I'm getting ready for brunch. There's a friend of mine from out of town who's visiting, so me and a couple of the gals are heading somewhere to lunch, I think downtown, to a Greek spot called Lola's. That's gonna be way too much. Way too much. It is 1 p.m. we're meeting at 1 p.m. on a Saturday for brunch, and I hear the brunch scene is crazy. The website doesn't even allow you to book brunch places during that time because they're so busy. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna be. But I'm driving down there using the Amazon free parking, and then I want to go and see the cherry blossoms. They should be in full bloom today. I was going to meet with a group of newer friends, but they were trying to time it correctly and things just kind of got shuffled. They're actually going next week, which I'll be out of town for now, but I do think peak is this week, and in this afternoon we're supposed to have a little bit of the sun come out. This weekend is supposed to be cloudy, but yeah, I'm gonna do brunch and then head over there for cherry blossoms. So I'm doing like 2 of the most like popular chaotic things today, so we'll see how that goes. The other day, I'm trying to think, I've had such a busy week and it has been really good because I've been feeling really productive. Even though I've had a lot of busy things going on, I've been able to complete a lot of the goals and stuff I've wanted to do. I had a shoot on Wednesday. If you are in the Seattle area and want your portraits taken, you can book me at Photo Booker down below. So I had a shoot. Which was great, and in between my shoot and my workout class, I had some time, so I walked around, got some boba, and I went to Sephora because I'm really curious about my coloring in terms of like being, I think I'm neutral cool Today I've put on quite the warm look, which is maybe not the best, but I've seen several TikToks of women recommending cool toned lip glosses and lipsticks. So I picked up one. This is Lawless in the shade Velvet. And I'm really curious to see this on, though I'm not sure if it'll fit this look. I feel like this look is quite leaning more orangey rather than, oh my gosh. I absolutely love this shade. That is so lovely, but I think it's the wrong tone for what I put on my eyeballs, which was a bronzer, which is orangey. So I am really liking that. That'll be for another day. It kind of has like a berry taste to it as well, and it is, I believe, slightly plumping. I also think with how heavy I put on the blush, I want to kind of keep the lips not so loud, and I wouldn't call that loud, but I do want to put on Fenty Heat just to show. I really purchased this for Miami, both of these glosses for Miami. I've had the Fenty gloss bombs before a long time ago. They came in one of my beauty boxes, and I just fell in love with this color. I was definitely looking at colors, and I was like, this is not the assignment. You didn't come in here to get more warm toned stuff, but this actually fits the eye look a lot more better. It also has like a nice fruity taste to it as well. Oh wow, that really, I feel like, brought out the blush in like a nicer way. Okay, so yeah, we're doing Fenty Heat in Fenty Glow Heat, the gloss bomb. So yeah, that is the look for brunch and going to shoot cherry blossoms. I'm really hoping by the time I get there it will be chill. But maybe other people have had the same idea where they're just waiting for the sun to come out. Original. I know. So yeah, with these two bad boys, I got a cool toned and a warm tone. And I mean, you can see, just look how purpley that tends to lean. A little bit ago, I got my Scentbird box. I really want to be more thoughtful with like tracking the scents that I like from my Scentbird box. And I haven't tried this one yet, so this is my most recent one. This one has notes. This is the Roja London Elysium perfume. This has notes of mandarin peach, peony violet, musk. This should be like the perfect springtime with those juicy fruit notes and the flowers. So I'm very excited. We'll give it a go. Oh wow, that is very floral forward, which I enjoy. That's nice. That's really nice. I tend to lean a little bit more fruit or gourmand with my perfumes, but I've been wanting to get more into the floral side. One of my good friends loves rose perfumes and was always into florals and stuff, and I always just thought like, wow, like, I don't know, I feel a little kiddish sometimes with some of my sweeter gourmandy scents, and I feel like sometimes florals, of course, we can start getting into the grandma territory, but I feel like if you can nail down a good floral, it is such a mature and like elegant, womanly scent. For today, I want to finish planning my Miami trip, really nail down everything, get the days assigned, all that good stuff, go to brunch, photograph the cherry blossoms, and I really would like to do that beach, Western focused, Western facing sunset time lapse today. I think tomorrow will be too cloudy, gloomy, but I'd rather try and shoot for both than just wait for tomorrow. So I think today is supposed to be a little more sunny at 7 p.m., which is like sunset time is like 7:30. So that is the goal. Get all that good content, and then on Monday I can focus on editing, which will be really fun.